That might be too... Oh, it's live. It's live. Hi guys, I'm Clammative Joe. Welcome back to a new YouTube live stream on the Clammative Joe YouTube channel. I want to know if you guys can hear the stream right now, because it is absolutely sweltering.
Yes.
And yes, I think you can hear me because I've just heard my own voice back. Hello, Oraway. Welcome to the stream. You can hear me on the stream, right? It's that hot. The temperature's that high. I've had to put the my tower fan literally right next to my laptop because it is so warm, guys. I am literally melting. Literally, guys, it's like 32, 33 degrees. It's warm. Anything over 34 is like really warm in the UK. But 34, 33 in well, yeah, but that's the reason is though the UK never normally has like 30 degrees in May. The temperature in May is normally 18 to, it's normally like 12 to 17 degrees, which is mild. It's normally mild at this time of year. So it's just caught everyone's just been caught by surprise by the fact that we've had 32 degrees in May, which if we had 32 at the end of next month, it would be normal. Global warming is not real in a concept. Global warming is real, but it's not. It's always happened though. Global warming's a cycle. The temperatures go up and then the temperatures drop. That's what happened before the last Great Ice Age. The temperatures went up. Can you add them? Hello Rachel Nash, welcome to the stream. I'm playing Legacy Console Edition today. I'm not playing Bedrock, I'm afraid. Yeah, I'm gonna drop that down a second. What I meant, Oraway, is global warming's real, but it's not. It depends what's going to happen. The reason they call it global warming. The reason they call it climate change, I mean, is because they don't actually know whether it's going to get colder or warmer. Which is why in recent years they've changed it, because decades ago they said global cooling. Now they're saying global warming. So the reason they've changed it to climate change is because if they call it climate change, they can turn around and say, well, we don't know what's going to happen. Climate change is real though, guys. It's kind of like back in the era of the dinosaurs. 300 million years ago, the UK was a jungle. The UK was a rainforest. 200 million years ago, the UK was a rainforest. Sorry, 300 million years ago, the UK was a rainforest. They know that because of when they've gone and looked at the data, the UK would have been on the equator. So the temperature there would have been like 35 degrees a day. Incredible, really. You guys can hear me, right? You guys can really hear me. I do apologise. Hello, I can't read your name. I do apologise. Hello, Lalit Chetri. Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Thank you to the person who subscribed, by the way. As it stands, we are aiming to hit 8k, 8,300 by the end of May. We could actually do it, guys. we could actually hit 8,300. We are, as it stands, we are 13 subscribers away from hitting the goal, which is amazing. I sub right now. Oh, thank you. It's really kind of you. We're aiming to hit 8,300 by the end of May. It's we're hoping to hit 10,000 by the end of the year, which would be amazing if we could do that, guys. We're aiming to hit 10,000 because my YouTube channel is 10 years old this year, which is just amazing, guys. Doesn't feel like 10 years. Oh god, my eye. Sorry, there's something in my eye. Oh. There's 13 of you watching. Wow. Thank you to everyone that's watched the stream so far. 19 of you now. Wow. So, what's in this shulker box? Dirt. We could put the dirt here just to get rid of it. Goodbye. Thank you for watching the live stream, and we will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. That's really kind of you. Have a good rest of your day. Right, let's just quickly go across here. I want to put as much dirt. I want to put some dirt across here. This will free up a lot of space. In fact, might as well go across here a minute. There we go. Let's see if this works, eh? Right, let's just quickly... I don't think 13 is going to be enough to fix this. It's enough to go this way for now. Unless we got a whole nother stack in here, which... that 50 will be enough to do that. What we're hoping, though... what we're hoping is that this dirt, this will turn to grass. What we're hoping is that this turns to grass, goes to here. What we're hoping is that turns to grass. One of these pieces turns to grass. It'd be amazing if one of them could. One of these turns to grass, then, like this one has. So if that turns to grass, it will go to here, to here, to here, and then onto here, and this will turn to grass too. With a bit of luck, that turns to grass. fantastic. That's turned to grass. Any of the others turned to grass yet? Nope. Nope. What is it with this area then? Because none of the others have done anything. And then that one's done too. This has got to be the best bit of land ever then. Oh no, this one's done too now. If you're wondering what we're doing, we're trying to turn this bit into grass. Come on! Oh, it's a race now. This one's turned to 3. There's turned 3 in, and this one's turned to 2. And also, nah, these two haven't done anything. It's a race now between this one and this one. Well, I would have bet on this one, but which one will get to there first? Which one of these guys is getting to there? Is getting to the dirt section first, or could it be a surprise and one of these gets there first? Could we be in for a shock? You don't know. Oh, it's so warm, guys. You guys can hear me, right? I don't have a clue, but alright. Okay, 54 of you have watched the stream in the first 54 of you have watched the stream in the first 12 minutes. That's pretty good. So at the moment it's still 3 here. None of these two have done nothing really. Let's do another one and just see what we can do. Perhaps this one will win. I don't know. At the moment, that's at 3 blocks, that's at 2, and it's a race. We'll have a look which bit of grass is going to reach here first. This has got 3 to go, that's got 2 to go. And this one's got this one here, and this one here have got many places to go. Because they've done absolutely nothing. Okay, this has got 1 now since I moved that shulker box, which is crazy really. Let's go this way. Let's go this way and see what happens, eh? We're only going to go this way because there's a bed over here and it's night time. Right, okay. Okay, so let's go this way a bit more. Right, so what we're trying to do, everybody, what we're trying to do, everybody, is which bit of grass will reach this first. This has got 3 to go. This now has 3 to go too. This has 1 to go. This has no, that's got 1 to go. That's what 1 to go. This has got 3 to go. This has got 4 to go, and this has 3 to go too. This has got 2 to go. I mean, 2 to go. 2 to go. Yeah, 2 to go. 1 to go. No, 2 to go. 2 to go. 4 to go. 4 to go. 4 to go. Right. Which one will do it first? The logic would be one of these ones, but it could be one of those. You never know. I do apologise, guys. If you, can you guys? I don't know if you guys can hear me on the stream. Can you guys on the stream hear me? That's got 2 to go now. No, 3 to go. 3 to go, 4 to go, 4 to go, and 2 to go. Hello, Silver Samson. Can you hear me, by the way? Can you hear me on the stream? Yeah, I didn't know whether people could hear me. I do apologise, everyone. I've got to have a fan on right now because it's very, very hot. So I've got a fan right next to my computer because it's so warm. It's currently like 30. It's currently like 33 degrees, everybody. Ooh, there's 15 of you watching now. That was crazy. It was 0 just now. Wow. If you're watching this, what we're doing is just... we're trying to get this grass... trying to get this mud, this dirt here, to turn back into grass. So we've put all these places, and we put all these here, and we're trying to get it to... and we're trying to see which one of these will get there first. So at the moment, this has 3 to go, 4 to go, this has 4 to go. And these two over here have 2 to go. That has 3 to go as well. This one was the fastest to 2. That was the fastest to 3. And we're just waiting now to see which one starts turning this grass into grass. I want to build a mini game here, but I basically dug it out and then never did anything with it, so we're just waiting for what will be. Perhaps we try a different tactic. To get this to actually turn to grass, perhaps we try a different tactic. We yeah. We'll try this one out. Adding a extra 2 blocks there. Hopefully that might trigger it to go a bit quicker. Okay, this has 3 to go now. That has 3 to go. This still has 4 to go until it actually tries to get onto here. I need this. We need this grass to grow. Oh, this is the 4th one's gone. So it's going to be between, and it's done. So we can now get. So it was this one here. This one here was the fastest then. The one that we predicted that would probably be the fastest. It now does not matter about any of these because that's what we wanted. All we need is 1 bit of grass. 1 bit of grass on there is all that we needed. Now this will start turning into grass and we'd have a field back here eventually. Fantastic. Oh. So that 2 that will turn to 2 and whatever, and then eventually we'll have a field back here. So fantastic. Right. Break the shulker box. That has now got 2 over there, so that should be fine for now. And we're away. Actually saying that, we actually got quite far. And we are away! I think we're going to land on the house over there, aren't we? Oh, we missed it by like an inch. Let's see how far we can go here. Imagine if we landed on the jungle tree. We missed the jungle tree by a while, but because we're going off a mountain now, we're going to go really far with this. I'm on the roof. I'm on the roof. Hi, guys. This is my world, guys. Everyone on here, this is my world. Oh, hold on a minute. Right. We're on the roof right now. We're on the roof of the house right now. Thinking about what we should build. Don't really know what we should build right now. Might as well. Don't even know where we got that wood from. We might as well put it in there. Anything else that we should put in here right now? Well, stuff we don't need, like the food, to be honest. We don't need the food because we're in peaceful, because I forgot to turn it off. So, because we're in peaceful mode, we don't really need the food. What's in here, by the way? Oh, hold on, I got some seeds on me. We can... No! I thought I did. Yeah. Guys, give us some build ideas. Everyone on here, give us some build ideas that we can build today on the stream. Be a cool idea. It would be a cool idea. Everyone give us some build ideas. So, right. Oh, ha 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 ha. Sorry guys, there was something in my ear. Something in my eye, I mean. La 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 la. Where is it? Where is everyone? In today's stream, where is everyone? Let's go sleep over here. How is everybody on this stream then? Everybody on this stream, comment how you are. Or comment here. It is boiling, guys. It's so boiling. Yeah. Hello, welcome to the stream. Hello, Seven Vinks. Welcome to the stream. Welcome. I do apologise, everybody. I just had to go AFK a moment. You guys can hear me on the stream, right? I don't know whether you guys can actually hear me on the stream. It's so warm, I've had to put a fan on due to how hot it is. So, the fan isn't too distracting on the stream, is it, everybody? Welcome to the stream. How is everybody on this stream? Thank you to the person who subscribed. That's amazing. Thank you so much. We're aiming to hit 8,300 by the end of May. We're roughly aiming to hit 10,000 by the end of the year. Because this YouTube channel turns 10 years old this year, which makes me feel really, really old. Right, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go this way. I subscribed. Oh, thank you so much, Seven Vinks. Thank you so much for subscribing. That's really kind of you. What are we gonna do, guys? Oh my god, I forgot about that house. I've built so much on this world over the last few years that I forget what we've built. I generally forget what we've built, so I have no recollection of this house. This is the... I sometimes forget what we've built because there's so much stuff. That house, I remember. Honest to God, guys. Honest. I totally cannot remember building. Actually, no, now I do. I remember wanting to build something out of acacia wood. I remember wanting to build something out of acacia wood, so I built what I thought a village house would look like if it was made out of acacia. And we decorated this one. I like this one, actually. It's got a nice little view of some of the other builds. You could... Oh, that's cool. That's actually a cool view, actually. I'm going to screenshot that set. That's a really cool view to look out of, isn't it? You can see the nether in the nether in the overworld. That's a really, really cool view out the window. Oh, that's a shame, really. Let's fix that a sec. Let's go fix this a sec. Oh. We did a really good job at that. If anyone asks, yes, I am terraforming the world so I can see a house from another house. That just sounds sad, doesn't it? There we go. There we go, looks lovely. Actually, we're going to make this look slightly nicer. There we go. This should look lovely now. Can we see that house? No, we can't. Why? Here. Yeah, if you're generally watching this stream, yes, I am generally breaking a mountain so I can see a house from another house. So, does that look better now? Well, you can see it. There we go. There we go. Splendid, splendid, splendid. Just got to pick up all of our damage across here. I think this should look much better now. We should be able to see it now. Yes, you can. So what we've done is we've took down the mount. We haven't took down the mountain. We've sort of just trimmed the edge so you can see it now. So now you've got a perfect view out of each window. Well, bar that one. Perfect view. Lovely view. Right, can you see the ship? Yeah, you can. Submarine? Yeah, that's a submarine right there. And a little bit of the end ship. And obviously out here you can see some other bits. What else? There's nothing. Practically, there's nothing. Apart from that stuff there, there's nothing here. Apart from that house, we generally have nothing this way. I mean, this is lovely. This is a lovely bit of land. I mean, you could build a lovely little house here. Oh, actually, no. Saying that, the diamond house is over here. We built a house. We built a house out of diamonds because subscribers wanted us to, and then we also built a house out of dirt just behind it because everyone said we should. Which was a... and then we got the castle over here, which was never finished. We've got a castle over here that was just never, ever finished, which... This castle, guys, was never finished. Across my whole time on this Minecraft world, like I've literally, I never finished this castle. If we want to get into the castle, we've got to go over the drawbridge. But yeah, we never finished it at all. We should at least finish the walls. We could do something with this. I think we should at least finish I think perhaps we should do that like next week or something. This week, perhaps we should go in and perhaps that's something we should do now soon. Finish these castle walls, because I swear this castle has been here for literal years at this point. I built it... Do you know what? I can't remember. I honestly can't remember when I built this castle. I actually don't know whether that's embarrassing that I cannot remember when I built this castle. I think we should actually finish these walls off and build something in here. I don't know though. Oh. I do apologise, I've started to yawn. We've got any stone on us, which we do, so we can probably do a little bit of these walls now. So there we go. Perfect. Hello Animation, welcome to the stream. Ooh. You're making a castle. Well, wow, not really. This castle's been here for years. It just happened to be that we were coming back this way and I had some stone I needed to get rid of. So, we're not actually building a castle. This castle's been abandoned for years. This castle's been left unfinished for years. But it happened to be, as we were coming from that house over there, I sort of noticed, I sort of had some stone left on me. So I quickly got rid of it by sticking some in the walls here. Today I fell in class, nearly died, my neck got cut. Oh, I am sorry to hear that. So we're going to head this way because we're going to head home. We're going to head over here, guys. We're going to head home. Wow. We're going to take a pit stop at this. We're going to take a pit stop actually at this island. Because this island here, I built a house into. But I don't cry, I farm aura. But I don't cry, I farm ore who make me fall something I can't say in English. Okay. Let's jump into this Minecraft bed, guys, because we need to sleep, because it's night time. thank you to everyone that's watched this stream so far, which is amazing. Guys, we're almost there. We're closing down on 8,300 subscribers. We are currently 11 away from hitting 5,000. What have we got here? Anything else? No. We could finally add the second floor here. We never did add the second floor in. Eventually. Yeah, so go from that island to this island. It makes the trip to that island easier. This is only about 30 or so blocks. But it's about 70. It's about 90 from there to there, as opposed to about 30 here. Which, in a way, is kind of like this. In a way, it's kind of like this island. It's kind of like this island. This island over here. This island here is so far away from that land over there. But it's only 10 blocks. The distance there is only 10 blocks. Can you do end Sunday Bedrock with subs? What, Sunday? I'll do that Sunday. I don't know about Saturday yet. I might do Saturday as well, but normally it's just Sunday. But I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I don't know what I'm going to do until I get to it, which is something that I have always done, guys. I don't think about next week's... I don't think about tomorrow's stream till tomorrow, technically. I do everything on here day by day. Which is... It's kind of a beneficial thing. It means there's not as much planning. One Last Christmas, yes, One Last Christmas is a novel that I published recently. It's for a competition. It's for a competition, basically. The more copies I sell, the more chance I get of winning this competition. Yes, One Last Christmas, guys, is a novel that I published. It's... Question. Which YouTube end your novel make you money? What? Could you rephrase that question a little bit, Animation? I can't quite understand the question. I can't work out the question. I can't. Use of your YouTube to make money to live in UK. I don't make money to live in the UK. I haven't moved to the UK. I am from the UK. I'm British. So I don't make money to live in the UK. I am from the UK. I mean, YouTube and my novel stuff does make money. but it's not to live in the UK because I'm from the UK. Yeah. Oh, I don't know that you will live now. Which YouTube end of you got good life or bad? I'm really confused. What you mean? There's no such thing as a good or bad life. There's no such thing as a good or bad life. Are you life now country? Where am I from? I'm from the UK. I've always been from the UK. I was born in the UK. Where do I live now? The UK. No, I didn't. No, animation, I didn't say that. Your question was jumbled up. Your question was really jumbled up, so it didn't make sense. You live in when I asked you make money to live in the UK, your question was really jumbled up, so it did not make sense. My answer might have sounded like I don't live in the UK. But it was because your question was so jumbled up, I could not work out what your question was. Hello, Thomas Cruz. Welcome to the stream. Sorry. It's alright. The question... Hello, welcome to the stream. Yeah, the question was really jumbled up, so I couldn't really answer it properly because I couldn't understand the question. Oh, I talk straight. Alright. No, it's understandable. It was just because of how you put the question. When you said make money to live in the UK, I presume that you were talking about trying to move to a country, but I don't make money to live in the UK because I'm from the UK. People that make money to live in a country are people that aren't born in that country. You get what I mean? But plus, I don't earn that much money from YouTube. I like YouTube. So do I. Or is it a struggle? Okay, that makes more sense. Well, YouTube... Not really, no. Even though I'm in my 20s, I'm still living with my family, but I don't really get hardly any money from YouTube. And I don't really get much money from the novels. which is why I'm struggling to find a job, guys. So it's a bit shit, but it's all right. But the UK is a struggle. The UK is a struggle for most people now because there's too many people. The UK is a struggle for most people nowadays because there is too many people. No, it's not the sad reality of YouTubers. It's not the sad reality of YouTubers. YouTube does have a lot of money in it. It's not a sad reality. YouTube actually has a lot of money in it. But you've got to... What do you get if you win the competition? A huge life-changing prize money. Life-changing prize money and exposure for your book. So I'd rather get a good exposure on the book. Good exposure on the book is one thing, guys. No, YouTube does support them. Can you tell everyone in the chat to be nice to me? What do you mean? No one's ever been rude to you. I hope you do. Well, yeah, I need to make some more sales on it first, though, guys. We've only got 6. We've only got 6 since it was published. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's also available in every country, guys. But yeah, it's yeah, to answer Animation's question, no, they do support them, but which is why they have channel memberships and things like that. There's many ways for YouTube channels to, you know, get nothing. I got 5 and your novel gets 600 sold. How much money does it cost? It depends what country you're from. It depends what country you're from. It costs more to print in some other countries. Depends how much. Depends what country you're from. So in the UK, I can tell you, in the UK, it's like it depends. Also, it depends what you're buying. It depends if it's a paperback. America, it depends what you're buying, ebook or paperback. Let's have a look. Amazon.com. Because Amazon.com is the American site. So, One Last Christmas. That's the name of the book. Let's see if it comes up. Oh, it comes up. It comes up. It is, the Kindle version is $5 US, the paperback is $9 US. It depends what country you're from, guys. Because some countries, like it costs more to print in Canada. How many sales do you need? I've got to be honest, guys, as many as I possibly can get. As many as I possibly can get, to be honest. Yeah. I'll put a link to the book, guys, in the stream. My soul say you get 600 sales. I would love that. What was the price of the American version? $9 US for the paperback, and it's $5 US for the ebook. It's $5 for the ebook version. On the it's not, it's there's no like different versions for each country. It's basically you can find it on Amazon, on every country's Amazon page. If you put the name of the book in and then the author name, that it pops up. But yeah, it's 600 sales would be amazing. 600 sales. It's a birth of the book of like not a birth enough book. What was I gonna say? Yeah, to answer your question. When you was new. Well, I'm not new. I've been around for 10 years. Animation. My channel's been around for 10 years. I'm not new. Yeah, to answer your question though, 600 sales would be amazing, guys. But the most sales I've ever got on a book is 11. So this book can break it. This book can technically, like 5 or 7 years ago. Well, 5 years ago, I already had a big, been around for a decade. It has been. Well, 9 years at the moment. I created this channel in 2016, which makes me feel old, because I was 13 when I created the channel. I was 13 when I created this channel. Crazy, really. Yeah, I'm hoping, guys, this can be the biggest book I've published. There's only 2 people in your live. Yeah, not my wife. I don't have a wife. What up, Menace? I'm not a menace. Hello, Swiss. Welcome to the stream. Bye. Goodbye, Animation. Have a good rest of your day. Thank you for watching the live stream, and I will see you in the next one. Just to make sure you guys can hear me, right? It's that warm. I've had to put this fan on, so this fan is right literally in my face. I was about to say. Oh, sorry guys. You guys can like really hear me, right? It's that warm. It's like 33 degrees. That's Celsius. Sorry about that. I need to tell you where they have autism. I cannot talk to you using some Google trying to quit. It's alright. I can tell you're using text to speech though. I can tell you're using text to speech because sometimes, like when you tried to say live streams, it came through as white friends, which I did actually find that quite funny. To be honest, I saw that pop through just now. I can hear you. Okay, it's like 33 degrees, so I am having to make this. I'm having to make this this fan going through. I've had to put this fan on just because it's literally so warm. I got sunburnt yesterday. I'm not happy. Turn the fan off for a bit. Yeah, I got sunburnt yesterday. I wasn't happy at all. I was, hold on a second. Yeah, I literally got sunburnt yesterday. I hate being sunburnt. Yeah, I did read your comment, Swiss, but that's just a... It's funny how I can hear it. Yeah, I didn't know whether people could hear my voice today because I've had to have that fan on, literally. I quit being what? What, Swiss? That's the most random comment I've seen today. Could be worse. I did actually offend someone recently over football. I had a person. Were you here? Were you here, Swiss, when Metal Gear Ghost was here? Were you here then when? Were you here when Metal Gear Ghost was here, like last September time? Because I swear he was in the same streams as you were. Basically, he stopped watching and commented a few weeks ago saying, "I used to respect you." He said, "I used to respect you," and I'm sat there like, what the hell have I done? And it turns out it was because of something I said about football. What day is that? I don't know. But yeah, I offended someone over football because we were talking on a stream about I don't agree in PE lessons. When you do PE lessons in British PE sports lessons, Salah just left Liverpool. I gotta be honest though, I think he was I thought he was terrible for Liverpool this season. I mean, I'm an Everton fan. I didn't care, but I think he was terrible for. I thought what he did was unprofessional this year. You know, if you play shit for a team, you get taken out the squad. If you play shit for a team, you get taken out of the squad, and basically that was one thing that I thought was unprofessional of his this year. I don't watch soccer, so I don't know. Yeah, Liverpool, Mo Salah played shit this season, and then he fell out with Liverpool's manager because Liverpool's manager dropped him from a game, and he basically was claiming about how he earned his place. Welcome back, Chris Nothing. Welcome back. Yeah, so on that football thing I said, they do mixed sports in UK schools and PE lessons where you stick girls and boys in the same PE class and you have to do the sports together. And I offended someone because I said I don't think in high school they should do that. Unfortunately, I'm not your baby, Swiss, because I think I'm like 10 years older than you are. I don't think in high schools they should do that, like mixed sports, because when you're like 14, 15, you know, there's a massive increase. When I was in school, I was forced to do a PE lesson where they put boys and girls playing football together. I went in for a tackle and I nearly broke this girl's shin. Where are you? What are you? I'm 1746. What, you were born in 1746? Wow. You're 280 years. You're 280 years old. Imagine the birthday. Imagine how many candles on the birthday cake. Oh, 17 in age. Yes, probably. Yeah. Can you add me? Not on this version I can't because I'm 17 of 46 days. That's making me feel old because I was 17 7 years ago. Twenty-four in 7 months. Jesus. I'm a quarter of a century old next year. I'm a quarter of a century old next year. That's foreign. I was born at like 2019, 2011. Century youngsters. Makes me feel old too, sadly. Yeah, I'll be halfway to 50 next year. Well, in 2027, but not until like the end of 2027. So I've still got some. That's 19 months. 19 months. I'll be halfway to 50 next year. That's just... Wait. Yeah, I'll be halfway to 50. In 2027, I'll be halfway to 50. Yeah, technically, because I'll be in 2027. I'll be 25. Yeah, 25 next year. Joe, what are you doing? At the moment, nothing. That's a really odd question, Swiss. And no, definitely not. Feels weird. Feels weird though. Like I played a video game the other year. Can you just make a house? We did make a house earlier on, but I haven't got any items on me to make a house right now. Would I climb the pyramids? Well, it sounds cool, but you're not allowed to do that anymore. You used to be able to, but you're not allowed anymore. But if it was legal, I would. But literally though, guys. You used to be able to climb the pyramids. It's kind of like the Mayan temples. It's kind of like the old Mayan temples. You used to be able to climb them. Have you guys ever heard of whatever it is? Oh, I forgot the name. Have you guys ever heard of the Göbekli Tepe? It's a building in Turkey, southeastern Turkey. It is the oldest building in the world. It is it predates everything. It predates Stonehenge. It predates the Egyptian pyramids. It is believed to be 12,000 years old, which is just an amazing thing, really. 12,000 years old. That's another question I'm interested in. You like your thing in the Minecraft lexicon? This is the nostalgic version. Yeah, this is the Switch version. I haven't downloaded this version. This is the version from time. Throw up oil or money? Well, money, because, you know, oil is a good, useful tool. Why would you want to throw it? You know, but it's one of those. Oil is a useful tool, but we need to stop being so dependent on it now. We need to stop being so dependent on it now. Like the UK, for example. The UK is one of the biggest countries for wind power. Wind power makes up 30% of the UK energy. The UK has four of the biggest wind turbine farms in the world. All 4 of them are British. Of the top 4 in the world, all 4 of them are British, and Britain just keeps making more of them. But at the moment, 30% of energy in the UK is produced by... The UK owes you money? How did the UK owe you money? Because you're not British, you're American. So does America owe you money? Yeah, Nintendo Switch version is the best. The Wii U version was alright. Killed my ancestors and more. But it wasn't a war though, Swiss. It would have been in a war though, Swiss. You know, that's the sad thing. People die in war. Joe, I will play. I will just join the stream later. That's alright. Literally, that is a thing though, everyone. That is a thing. In a war, yes, some of your ancestors will have died in a war, but also your ancestors would have killed a British person's ancestors in a war. Because people die on both sides. Right, have you guys ever heard of the Somme? During the Somme, the British lost... The Battle of the Somme in World War II was one of the bloodiest battles in recorded history. Yeah, it's an endless loop. You know, what's the line in Star Wars? You kill them today. They kill you today. You kill them tomorrow. The Somme is the bloodiest battle in the First World War. 57,000 British troops died in a single day. 57,000 troops, British troops died in one day, which I think that was more. I think that was more than America lost in the whole American Civil War. Of course you can write a poem. I might be wrong. I thought it was... Oh no. What battle was it then? The British forces lost 400,000 troops during the 5-month campaign. More people died in the Somme. More British soldiers died in the Somme than most of the American troops during the American Civil War. Across their 5-year war, the British lost a similar amount of troops in a 5-month campaign in France. On the first day alone of the Battle of the Somme, July 1st, 1916, the British Army sustained 57,470 troops, marking the bloodiest single day in British military history. That'll be 110 years ago. That's just what you just put Landon is just a little bit odd. Yeah, pretty good. I like how everyone's just putting fat jokes now because I've made so many. I'm not even fat though. That's just the funny thing. I over exaggerate how like I over exaggerate like how overweight I am. Because I'm not actually Swiss. I'm not actually. I over exaggerate how overweight I am, guys. So it's because people worry too much about shit. Being slightly overweight isn't a problem. People worry about it too much. People worry about shit too much. Really, Joe? Well, yeah, I over-exaggerate being overweight, but that's obviously because people worry about it too much. People need to know that, being overweight isn't over the end of the hill. Like, and become a nomad. What's that then? North American Missile Assistance Department. Oh, that's something NORAD, isn't it? No, that's not true, Thomas. That's not true. No, I know what it is. That's like well, a person that doesn't have a fixed home is basically like a traveller. A nomad is like a traveller. Who is your favourite president? I gotta be honest, I'm not American. I couldn't care less who's the president of America. I'm not American, guys, so I couldn't care less who's in. As a British person, I always think you go for the candidates with the loudest voice. As a British person, I always think America tends to go to the person with the loudest voice. Fuck you. How dare you hate the President of the United States? You're fucking retarded. I'm not American. I'm not American. I couldn't care less who the US President is. Because doesn't... Whoever US President is, Landon, it doesn't affect me as a British person. But I don't think he gets, like, he's the president of America. Whoever the president of America is, they're the president of America. They're not the president of the world. So as a British person, I don't really give a damn who the US president is. Because I don't need to give a damn. If America puts someone in that's going to destroy them, it doesn't affect me. I'm not saying that the US president will I'm not saying that the US president will destroy America, but I'm saying if America elected a president that would... Well, actually, that's not really true. What do you do for YouTube? Fuck your money, fuck everything. Why is that, Swiss, out of curiosity? Well, to be honest, everyone pays their bills. What is what, Joe? I said, why is that? Why do you dislike the other one as well? Out of curiosity. I mean, he did well, the one that, well, as you said, you just said, obviously, based on what you said. I'm surprised in that, because when he would have been in, you would have been too young to understand what he was doing. Out of curiosity. Just interesting. Yeah, what I meant, Smith, is the Obama question you said about disliking him. I'm interested why, because technically you wouldn't have been old enough to really know to know anything about when he was in. It's kind of like someone young hating Tony Blair. It's kind of like young people now hating Tony Blair, who was the British Prime Minister 20 years ago. Because technically, yes, that's true. That is true. But there was a huge war going on over there at the time. There was a huge war going on. 2015 was a really, really bad year. if you get what I mean, it's not about it's not about what they did. It's also, you've also got to take into account what was going on. Back in 2015, back in 2015, you'd find videos of people. This is why YouTube's 13 years and up, because back in 2015, the Middle East was really bad in some parts in 2015 time. Literally, on YouTube, there were videos of people beheading people in the Middle East. It was a bad time frame. What they did is wrong, but there was a lot of bad shit across the world back then. Yeah. There was a lot of bad stuff going on in the world at that point. It's kind of like when you're young, you don't realize how like bad everything was in that regard. Like, the US are terrorists, I'm going to be honest. But is that true though, Swiss? Is that true? That's more like a propaganda as well. That's more of a propaganda as well. Every country hates every country. Every country hates every country for something. Argentina hate Britain. Every country hates every country for some reason. It's not that one's a terrorist. It's normally that every country has something to moan about. Argentina pretty much hate the UK and have hated the UK for decades. The UK has really strained relations with Argentina. America have strained relations with China. It's kind of like, let me think of a good country. France has always had a very strained relationship with the United States. Every country has like a strained relation with each other. It's kind of like, let me think of a good one. Egypt and the UK had a strained relationship for decades due to the 1950s. I don't think they do. I don't think they do, Swiss. I think that's more of a propaganda. I think that's more of a propaganda, more of a distorted media. The United States is like the UK. All religions are respected. All religions are respected, but in harmony. But what's going on in other countries isn't... Not every... You've got... What the problem is with those countries is religion. Religion should be separate from politics. You've got countries that basically you have to be religious to run. For example, America, they have to swear on the Bible, but that doesn't mean an American Muslim or a Sikh couldn't run. They would just swear on what their religious textbook. But in other countries, you have to be genuinely religious. It's kind of like in some countries, you have to be 30 years old. You have to be 40. But that's more of a distortion though, Swiss. That's more of a distortion. You're not judging it how it is, you're judging it how you saw it as a child. If you get what I mean. So you're judging it from a child's naive sort of view, if you get what I mean. Yeah, I know the rates are high, Swiss, but based on what you said, it's kind of like a child's naive view. So I'm going to use an example here. In the 2010s, we had a lot of terrorist attacks in the UK and attempted terrorist attacks. But so the media, because of all these terrorist attacks, we were shown them in schools. We were shown them in schools about because we were having to be told about these terrorist attacks and learn about what to do if we ever saw one. But what it was doing is basically making it seem like a certain religious group just want to go out and kill everyone. So it's basically how people exaggerate it is the way you perceive it. It's kind of like nowadays with Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill saved the UK from invasion by the Nazis, but because he did something else during his career which wasn't so good, that's all people see now. It's how the media interpret it and how people interpret it. It's kind of like, say you read a textbook, say you read a history textbook and ask someone what the meaning is. You and the person next to you will have two different interpretations of what the meaning is. Actually, let's use film as an example. Have you guys ever seen the ending of V for Vendetta? Have you guys ever seen the ending of the film V for Vendetta? So V for Vendetta, everybody that you've seen die at the end of the film. Well, it depends if they say what their motive was. So the guy that killed John Lennon's motive was he wanted to be famous, and that was the best way of doing it. It's kind of like you know, some people want. So V for Vendetta, right? I'm going to use this as an example. V for Vendetta, if asked about what the end of the film means, you and I would come up with two different meanings. So right at the end of V for Vendetta, V for Vendetta blows up the Houses of Parliament in the UK. He takes out the authoritarian government and blows up the Houses of Parliament, where basically the governments basically make laws and decisions. And right, you see all these people dressed in V for Vendetta masks, Guy Fawkes masks, take off their masks, and it's all the people that have died throughout the film. So you could interpret that. You can interpret that meaning as nobody actually died, whereas my interpretation of that is that they lived on because. My interpretation of that is that everyone that died lived on because the revolution succeeded. They lived on through the spirit of the revolution. If you get what I mean. So you could interpret, it's like a film's ending that ends on really interestingly. Two people could have two different meanings in the film. So that's exactly the same with like textbooks and media. You could interpret it completely differently. If you guys get what I mean. Do you guys get what I mean? So yeah, the meaning of what it is, you could have two different interpretations. It's kind of like you have two referees that referee like a football/soccer match. You know, one referee could think it's a yellow card, one referee can think it's a red card. Yeah, there's good and bad in every country. But it's kind of like, you can't just say one country is evil and one country is good because you don't know the meaning behind it. It's kind of like if you're German. If you were German in 1939, you thought Britain and France were evil because they've just declared war against Germany. You didn't know that Germany marched straight into Poland and basically took all of Poland. Yeah. Do Germans have soft tummies? I think that's only you that think that. I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of like, but also, Swiss, if you get what I mean, if you're in another country, you're going to have other people around you that hate the country you're from. It's kind of like, if you lived in Argentina, you'd meet people that hate Britain. Because Britain and Argentina went to war in 1980s, and basically Argentina and Britain have had strained relationships ever since. It's kind of like, depends where you are in the world, if you get what I mean. No, it's the US hates Egypt. No one hates the US and Egypt. There's an interesting, but that's what I was saying. You will meet people that don't like your country. Like, I don't like America because I find American people arrogant. Not everyone though. Not everyone. I don't like America because I often find American people to be quite. I've had lots of American people on here, but I find American people to be sometimes like clueless. So you hate me with your guts. No, I don't hate every American, but I hate the American concept. Like, the amount of Americans that I have that ask me questions like, oh, do you have knives and forks in the UK? And I'm like, I have a lot of questions. I don't hate Americans, guys, but I think America can be kind of silly when it comes to things with history. Americans are told that they invented everything, which they haven't. But there's other countries I don't like. But if you get what I mean. At least I don't ask you weird stuff. Well, no, I get asked questions all the time, and it's like, do you have cars in Britain? I'm like, well, we've had cars before America, because the cars were at... Oh, America invented cars. No, they didn't. That was Germany. America ended slavery. No, they didn't. That was Portugal in 1761. Great Britain did it in 1772. In fact, I've got a really interesting fact for everyone here. Great Britain tried to blockaded the in fact, we invented the mobile phone. We invented the phone. We invented the telephone. Interesting fact, in trying to get America to stop slavery, Great Britain basically tried to blockade the Great Britain tried to blockade the Atlantic Ocean for decades. For decades, Britain tried to blockade the Atlantic Ocean to stop slave ships from leaving Africa. I think Royal Navy against slavery. Here we go. The Royal Navy's blockade against slavery started in West Africa in 1808. It was a 60-year naval campaign. It intercepted 1,600 slave ships and liberated 150,000 slaves. 60 years. For 60 years they tried to blockade it, but obviously you're not always going to be able to stop every ship. Well, yeah, slavery only ended in Saudi Arabia in 1950. That I don't actually think that's true. That's not actually true. There is actually no specific group that was the first to be enslaved. Slavery existed up until 1800s. Until the 1800s, slavery existed since the dawn of time. You know, Rome did a lot with slaves, but Rome was interested. Rome basically anyone was a slave in Rome. Basically, never if you were white or you were black, basically you become a slave in Rome. But Rome also freed a lot of slaves as well, which is crazy. In fact, before the Atlantic slave trade, you also had a different slave trade, which is just, you know, well, slavery's wrong, but that's the thing, though. That's the thing, though. Every country interprets it different. Every country interprets it differently. I'd say that's more of a modern example, though, Swiss, because, you know, slavery wasn't outlawed until the 18th century, until the 19th century. So every country did it, even capturing prisoners of war. Well, prisoners of war are slightly different. I did Google it, Swiss. No, slavery, it was I just Googled it. Well, the First World and Third World, the concept of the first and third world countries, basically that it's not. It is a concept. I don't want to play Fortnite. Yeah, to answer your question that you just said about Saudi Arabia, Swiss, it was a policy of basically. I've had to Google it. Yeah, Saudi Arabia's slavery. Because it was governed by Islamic law, it permitted the enslavement of non-Muslims captured in war or born to slave parents. So, yeah, it was non-Muslims that were slaves in parts in Saudi Arabia. But yeah, technically, they were the last country to abolish slavery. So technically, based on what you just said, yeah, technically, because it was non-Muslims in Saudi Arabia, technically those rules of no slavery technically wouldn't have applied, that's kind of wrong, really. That's kind of wrong. Like, well, slavery's wrong on all levels. The concept of the first world and the third world, though, is based on development. You know, you have countries that aren't as developed. So, like, you go to certain countries, like, say Mongolia, for example. Mongolia, only the cities have paved roads. That's what it meant. The third world countries, first and third world countries, it's not like it's a title based on how developed they are. It's limited to capture during war. Yeah, but it's still wrong. But not limited to, though, or born to slave parents, so basically they would become a slave. But how many times that you're at war? But it's not limited to, or if you were born to a slave parent. So if you were born to a slave parent, you'd be a slave. But that was a Google search, you never know. While slavery was formally abolished in Saudi Arabia in 1962, the country has the highest prevalence of modern slavery. An estimated 740,000 people are estimated to live in conditions categorized as modern slavery. Yeah, it's wrong though. Like, slavery's wrong. That's Saudi Arabia. Every country does it. Modern slavery is still shocking, but yeah, Saudi Arabia still has the highest prevalence for modern slavery. That's really shocking, really. Yeah, but that's the most shocking one. That 1962, when a lot of other countries had done it 200 years prior. I don't understand why people want to live in Saudi Arabia, because I find the rules really tight. Like, they made special permission for Ronaldo. I found it shocking because I don't get the appeal of Saudi Arabia or Dubai. I don't understand it. But that's my opinion, guys. I don't understand why people want to go out and live in there. I don't actually know how they make money. I know it's obviously massive for oil, but Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, you know, they splash all these millions on skyscrapers, and in like Dubai and some of the other cities. But it's like, how the hell can they afford to do that? And some of them are never finished, like the Jeddah Tower. That's just been left unfinished, despite the fact they spent so much on it. Like the World Islands that they were building in Dubai. Like the world islands that they were building in Dubai, which is shaped to look like Earth. You know, celebrities bought them up, and they've never finished them. And it's like, why would you build all this shit if you're not going to finish it? Because that's just wasting millions, hundreds of millions. I've never understood that. It's also quite expensive, though. It's also quite expensive. It's like, what's the most expensive place in the world? I think it's Singapore. Singapore. Yeah, the most expensive city in the world is Singapore. basically cost of living and high net worth luxury lifestyles is the heaviest. Vehicle costs can exceed 100,000 a year. Yeah. Well, that happens everywhere though, Swiss. That happens every country in the world has its good and bad spot. But it depends what's modern. Like, do some countries modernize too quickly, like China, for example? No country. But that's because of interpretations. Every country interprets something differently. So even your interpretation of it would be different to someone else's, because it's more like a guideline. Every religious textbook is more like a guideline about how you should live your life. It's more like a guideline. Every religious textbook is more like a guideline about how to be a better person. So everyone will interpret it differently. So it's kind of like communism. What Karl Marx describes communism as, Lenin's interpretation was completely different, who was the leader of the Soviet Union. Stalin's was completely different. Then the guy that replaced him, Khrushchev's interpretation of what communism should be was completely different. Every textbook you've ever read on, like, political and social issues, it's how you interpret it. It's how you understand it, if you get what I mean. It's kind of like sin. No, Christians do follow sin. You have the 7 deadly sins. They teach that in British schools. When they teach them about, Christianity. But that's what I'm saying. It's how everybody interprets it. It's how everybody interprets. You guys. Do you guys know what interpret means? To interpret means to explain, translate, or make sense of something that is not immediately clear. It's basically how you make sense of it. So yeah, every religious textbook is different. So every religious textbook, or even like a history book, how you understand it is completely different. It's kind of like a football referee. Say I send you off for a bad tackle, and then you get sent off again you get booked for the same tackle in a different game under a different referee. That's because that's how the referees interpreted it. My interpretation as a referee will be totally different to someone else's. It's kind of like the rules. It's kind of like the rules of a game. If the rules of Minecraft, how I interpret my Minecraft world is pretty much. Well, the main three. Actually, no, the main four. Well, yeah, because also you don't know anything about the guy that wrote it. Whoever wrote that book, you don't know what was going through their head, because you can't really ask them because the books are so old. And also, it's kind of like when an author once said this to someone. An author, a kid once said to this author who wrote a book, "What did you mean when you put this in the book? This line." And I don't believe humans wrote it. Well, humans had to have written something. Well, in the context of the religion you're talking about, it was foretold that the prophet wrote it, I believe. Well, that's what I remember reading in a religious studies class, because it said it on the wall. and it took him 24 years to memorize every word. Might have been 23 years, one of them. Yeah, it's kind of like interpretations. It's kind of like you've got, yeah. But to answer your question, yeah, of course, I've met people who are like Jewish, you know, Christian, Islamic, Hindu. Yeah. But someone had to go and write it down after what it was said. Because if it hadn't been written down, it wouldn't have, you wouldn't know it. It's kind of like you wouldn't know it if it wasn't written down, you wouldn't know it. So someone had to go and write it down, because it can't be, if it's told to someone, someone has to sit down and write it down, or it would just be in their head. I mean, Sikhism is interesting. Sikhism's the youngest religion. Sikhism was only found 5,500 years ago. When Sikhism was created, Henry VIII was King of England. Sikhism was founded... yeah, Sikhism was founded around about 500. It's about 500 years ago. Henry VIII. Well, I think they're all a separate thing. They're all separate things because they were at the other sides of the world. It's kind of like, the way I see religion, Swiss, is every religion comes from a different part of the world. So Sikhism, Hinduism, and Buddhism technically come from more Asia. Islam, Judaism, and Christianity come from the Middle East. And then you had other religions in Europe. You had like the Greeks had their own religion. The Romans had their own religion. The Egyptians had their own religion. But obviously, as Christianity become more expanded, it's became the emperors of Rome switched to Christianity, so the Roman sort of religion started to go out of fashion. It's basically history. It's really interesting. It's kind of like Protestantism. It's kind of where Christianity split into Catholic and Protestant. Protestantism became prevalent. Christians are leaving Christianity. We're not leaving Christianity. Christianity is split. Kind of like Islam has Sunni and Shia. Kind of like how Islam has Sunni and Shia. Christianity has Catholic, Protestant, and Puritan. It's kind of like they're three separate... They're all different factions, pretty much. If you get what I mean. They're all different factions and how they interpret it. That's the best way to describe that, I reckon. Factions. It's kind of like political parties. I had to learn about them in school, but I basically didn't like religious studies in school because I'm not religious. I didn't really find it interesting. I had to learn about Sunni, Shia, Catholic, Protestant. I only know more about Catholic Protestants because I had to learn about that in my history class as well. But because the UK's Protestants, the UK was Protestant. The UK was basically the main Protestant country during the 15th century. Sorry, the 16th century. No. Yeah, during the 16th century, the UK was the main Protestant country. England was the main Protestant country, and Spain was the main Catholic country. And Spain and England were basically locked horns. Yeah. Oh, I'm absolutely knackered. This is an interesting concept. I am so warm, guys. I'm sweating. But that's the thing, though. That's interesting. Some don't consider them. Some don't consider others. Some do consider them. That's just crazy. But it's all interpretations, though, Swiss. In their opinion, it would be the other way around. In their opinion, it would be the other way around, so that others don't accept the fundamentals. So that's basically what your opinion is. But that's where it can be distorted. That's where it can be totally distorted, if you get what I mean. It can be totally distorted into they don't accept the fundamentals, so they're wrong. But in the other person's perspective, the fundamentals could be totally different to what your fundamentals are. It's like that is exactly what happened between England and Spain. That's exactly what happened between England and Spain. That's basically what happened, though, between England and Spain. Basically, England switched to Protestants because the Pope wouldn't allow King Henry VIII to divorce his wife, because she couldn't father him a son. So he turned to the UK Protestant and created the UK's own church. And that's where it sort of came from. What happened between England and Spain is that they both fundamentally thought each other were wrong. King Philip of Spain fought Queen Elizabeth I. King Philip of Spain thought Queen Elizabeth I was wrong and he was right, and they plotted to try and oust her. Yeah, but not for a while. It was for a while, I think. But it was only parts of it. It was only parts of it. But yeah, it was parts of Spain. It wasn't all of Spain. It was parts of it. That's an interesting one, yeah. The Philippines too. What? Spain was an interesting one. Spain was conquered. Spain was an interesting one. Spain was conquered. So eventually Spain was conquered, so there was a constant war in what is now Spain. Because Spain was initially called something else, but I forgot its name. The Visigothic Kingdom. Yeah, it was called. Yeah, it was called the Visigoth Kingdom. Sorry, I had to mute. But yeah, no, yeah, Spain was sort of conquered, so the Visigothic kingdom was invaded. But they started to Spain started to what became Spain started to invade it back. I think that's what part of the Crusades were about. I think that's part of what the Crusades were about, really. Was reclaiming Spain. I think that's where the Spanish Empire started. 1492. That's when Spain came across. That's when Spain came. The end. Spain became Spain in 1492. So that was pretty much. That was when Spain come across America. Christopher Columbus. And because Spain come across that was where Spain really become powerful. It's kind of like don't think so. I don't know. Well, not really moved. Not really moved. You know, some of them were more militarist. Some of them were more militaristic and had their own empires. Some of them were more militaristic, and some of them were more just were different. It's kind of like some of them were kind of like Costa Rica. You know, Costa Rica doesn't even have an army. Costa Rica is a peaceless. Rush, you want to ask me something? What do you want to ask me? Ooh. But yeah, Costa Rica is an example. Costa Rica, guys, doesn't even have an army. Well, it depends. It depends. It depends. It depends what it is, though. Would you choose someone? Would you choose someone? But also, would you choose someone to be? It depends more on the fact. What if you were being persecuted and you were not really chose, but you were liberated? So you're not really chosen. You've more decided to do something. Unless there was more than one God. Unless there was more than one God that made everything. Kind of like in the Greek. Kind of like in the ancient Greek, you know. Zeus created man, but Poseidon created but Poseidon created the ocean. But Poseidon created the oceans. Poseidon controls everything in the oceans. But not every religion, though. But not every religion. You know, in history, there's been 3,000 gods. In history, there's been 3,000 gods across the world. Some religions have more than one god. Like Rome. Rome had more than one god. But it's kind of like some religions have now expanded to wipe out the other ones. So we now say there's one god. But historically there was thousands. Rome had a god. Egypt had a god for everything. Rome had a lot of gods as well. It's kind of like in Krypton, the show Krypton. They have that, where basically they have 6 gods, but then Ra becomes the voice of Ra becomes the only god. In the show Krypton, they show that they had many gods, and then this Ra the god becomes the only god that they pretty much worship in the show, and in Superman on Krypton. It's interesting. Would there be chaos? Not really. But there's chaos anyway. There's chaos anyway. You know, a rock. Yo, I didn't know Royal Pair watched Joe. Who's Royal Pair? Hello, Archie. Sorry, I didn't see your comment. Oh. I was wondering what you guys were talking about then. But yeah, there wouldn't be chaos, but life is chaos. You know, you get up. It's like they say, don't they? They say that everything's set out for you, but it isn't. You decide where you want to go in life. You know, nobody decides for you. If I want to get up and jump into the cold hot tub now, which I'm probably tempted to do, I can do that. No one's decided to do that. No one's decided for me to do that. If you get what I mean. I mean, I love free will, guys. Free will is an amazing thing. You can do whatever you want. Free will is an amazing thing, isn't it? You can get. I can get up right now. I can jump into a hot tub right now. Which, why would you want to jump into a hot tub? You don't. I did jump in yesterday and I got sunburnt, but at least it was cold. God, all pizzas. Both. I love pizza. Let's talk about pizza instead. You can't say an apple isn't on the table, and it's there. But you would have to put that apple on the table, because if you don't put an apple on if there isn't an apple on the table, then there isn't an apple on the table. It's kind of like what would God's pizza look like? It would probably look like the size of a planet. In fact, when I was in school, when I was like 14, they forced us to draw what God looked like, and everyone's version was completely different. So we all had to draw what God looked like. So I drew a guy with a long beard and a staff, and then another guy next to me drew a guy in a suit and tie in a polka dot shirt, in a polka dot jacket. But it's interpretation. Vampires don't exist. But there is a condition which every country is different though, Swiss. Every country is different. Like the UK, you can criticize religion in the UK. You can criticize religion freely in the UK because we don't have any blasphemy laws. Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, yeah, so everyone had to draw God, and it was crazy what some people come up with. Somebody came up with a guy with 3 eyes, and one guy did it in a polka dot in a shirt. Vampires never existed, but there is a condition that people could perceive as vampires. There's a condition where basically sunlight... Probably not, Swiss. Probably not, because I can't make sense out of it. I can't make sense out of it. It's like... I can't make sense out of it, but I believe what I see. If I saw something I couldn't explain, then maybe. But I've never seen something I can't explain. I've seen something I can't explain, I mean, in like a sort of light in the sky and then disappear. But it was too fast. Why not? Because I can't believe in it. I can't believe in a God because I don't see how it's possible. Yeah, there will never be a zombie apocalypse because zombies aren't real either. But you never know. But yeah, I can't believe in it. But it's not where yes, I have respect for other people that believe in it, but that's not where I am, guys. It's not where I am. I believe you have one life. There's stuff that exists we don't see. Yeah. But the idea of an invisible... But the idea of an invisible man that created everything, I think, is just an old concept. In my head, basically, the idea of a god is something that we created thousands of years ago when we didn't know as much as we do now. If you get what I mean. We always like to create a meaning for something that we don't understand. So a god made sense 2,000 years ago. But it doesn't make as much sense now. We didn't believe God is a man. No. But 1,000 years ago, the idea of a person that created everything made sense because we couldn't explain otherwise. But now we have alternate methods, if you know what I mean. What makes sense? You know, nowadays, like, we used to think the world was only a few thousand years old, and now we've pulled up bones that are 2 million years old. That's what I meant. Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, people used to believe the world is flat. People used to believe the world's flat. You know, people used to believe, which, you know, the world's been proven it's not flat. No, but we also don't have any proof. We don't have any proof. Yeah, that's true. We don't have any proof disproving God, but also we don't have any proof proving a God. So it's basically it's an poison chalice question, really, because you're never going to find an answer. You can't prove it, but you can't disprove it. It's kind of like the idea of aliens. You can't technically prove it, but you can't disprove it. Well, I'm convinced, though. I'm convinced that we've known about aliens for decades. I'm convinced that our governments have known about aliens for decades. Ooh. It's true. Oh, sorry guys, I'm just having to grab my phone. It's really warm. You can't say 100%. But it's your interpretation, though, Swiss. So it's your interpretation. So you can't say 100%. but it's how you interpret it. So in my interpretation, yeah, 100% no God. But in somebody else's, 100% there is a God. Yeah. I mean, I respect it. I respect it. I respect every religion. I'm just not religious, and I don't think there's a God. But that's my interpretation. Saved by the Bell. I'm sorry, I'm back. Oh, sorry. To answer your question, Swiss, I saw your comment. What do you think the most logical concept for why we're here is? Because we are. I think. It's like, I think sometimes people try and put a meaning to something that doesn't need a meaning. It's kind of like, why am I sat here streaming? Because I want to be. If you know what I mean. Sometimes we don't need logic. If you get what I mean. I am boiling, guys. I am literally sweating. Sorry, I had to go AFK for a moment. Have a good rest of your day. I'm sweating. It's so hot. I'm probably going to end this stream in a minute because I'm absolutely sweating. Anyway guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.